As a new job seeker, or if you're someone who's changing jobs or careers, I want to focus on your why. What's your reason? Why do you want to look for that job if you're the first time job seeker? And why do you want to change jobs if you're someone who's changing careers or jobs? So let's get to that first time job seeker. Why do you want a job? Now, it sounds pretty simple, right? It is simple. There's only really three main reasons as a young person, if this is your first job, why you would want to get a job. The first reason is money. You want to work for the money. You want your own money. Now, let me tell you a quick story that had me laughing. A good friend of mine's told me that her nephew is now responsible for the electric bill. And he has a job. And so when he found out that's his bill, that's something he's going to have to pay, he immediately said, oh, yeah, okay, well, I'm going to have to buy me a fan because I'm not going to run that AC because it costs too much to run that AC. So he's understanding that, okay, that bill is now my bill. And because it's now my bill and I'm going to have to pay that big bill, I'm going to lower my standards a little bit and settle for a fan and not run that AC so much because I don't need all my money going to that bill. So he's starting to understand the importance of managing that money and not just doing things without considering his money. The second thing is you probably want that form of independence, right? Because if you need money, you have to ask your parents for money. You have to do some chores. Of course, that's not going to stop because you're working. But at the end of the day, you want some form of independence to be able to make some decisions based on your money that you work for, that you do not have to ask someone for. And so as a result, you want to begin that separation phase of, I don't always have to go to my parents for everything. I don't always have to go to someone to ask them for money. And I get it because I was there. I'm sure you're there and you're trying to figure out how do you distinguish between being independent and interdependent. Because you're never fully going to be independent, but that's a whole nother training. So it's the money, it's the independence, but then there's also this community aspect of working. You will find that when you start working, some of your closest friends and some of your best friends will be people that you actually work with. Why? Because you spend so much time around them and you interact all day long. Sometimes you might want to socialize after work. So there are bonds that are being formed, relationships that are being developed that can turn into long-term relationships. So it's either going to be you working for the money, you want your independence, or you want that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie at work. Now, that's for the first-time job seeker. But what if you're someone who's changing careers? What are some of the reasons why you would want to switch your job? Well, here's a couple of them. It's not exhaustive, but I'm just going to give you about 5 or 6 of them, and then you just nod your head if this fits you. The first thing, money. You need more money. Why do you need more money? Because your job is not paying you as much as you want them to pay you. Maybe the promotion you went for didn't come through. Maybe the pay raises are not coming every year. It's just you need more money. Why? Not because you're overspending, right? Because everything's going up. So you need more money. So that's why you're looking to switch jobs. Maybe the leadership, maybe the lack of leadership. Maybe you just don't understand why they do what they do. It doesn't make sense to you. And you're getting fed up with having to jump through hoops to get things done that shouldn't take a lot of work and effort to get done. Then it could be the lack of support. Maybe you're trying to do something and they're not supporting you. The resources are not there. And you're like, why is this so complicated? It shouldn't be this difficult to do this job. And so you can also have a toxic environment. You know those jobs where you wake up every morning and you just got to just smack yourself because you don't want to go in, but you have to because you need the money and you have to deal with people you don't want to have to deal with, especially coworkers and leadership and managers and supervisors that you're trying to figure out how in the heck they keep in their jobs. And it's just so toxic and negative. It's just so much going on there that you just don't want to look forward to going to work. I get it. You will want to change that job, right? Maybe you're not appreciated. Maybe they just flat out don't appreciate what you do and what you bring to the table. And no matter what you do, it's never good enough. I've been in those type of environments. I left. I went and got another job just so I cannot deal with the frustration of having to deal with that. So if that's your reason, go for it. Maybe there's no growth in the role. Look, I hate saying this, but some jobs, when you take them, there is no growth. You might get a little pay increase every now and again, a little more responsibility, but in terms of title, in terms of moving up within the company, you're pretty much stuck. Or you got to be part of the clique to actually move up within the organization. And so there's so many reasons. The question is whether you're the new job seeker or the one changing careers. What is your why? What is your reason for looking for work? That is so, so, so important. Because remember I said you need direction, okay? You need focus, and you need your why. You need your reason why. And that reason why should push you through all the obstacles that will come, because they will show up. So what's your why? Solidify that. Write it down, because you need to know that. And then finally, what are some of the reasons people actually go to work? I'm just going to run off a couple of them. They might or might not fit you, but it's just good to know why some people go to work, because it's not always about the money. It's maybe social recognition and affirmation, just being around others and having them affirm you and edifying you and building you up and making you feel good about yourself. Maybe it's just to apply skills. Maybe you like learning and applying your skills, and you like the fact that you get to learn and apply that integration of theory and practice. A lot of people love that. Maybe it's because it's job satisfaction. Maybe you're one of the few people that actually like your job. And look, there's nothing wrong with liking your job. I love my job. I love what I do. But that don't mean I'm going to be there forever, right? So at some point, I may decide I want to do a career change. I might want to do a job change. I don't see that in my future right now, but it is possible that I literally love what I do. Then you have maybe people work to earn respect. Maybe people work because it's fulfilling for them. Okay? I don't, work inherently for me is not fulfilling. But I do enjoy doing specific things. And that's why I choose to do those things. More fulfillment comes when I'm actually doing what I'm doing right now, which is training and helping people in the way that I choose to help them. But to actually have to work within certain parameters and time frames and show up at this time and clock out at this time, like that's always been a problem for me for my entire life. I've adapted because you have to if you want to maintain a job. But you get to a point where you don't want to continue to do that. So you transition into doing consulting and starting your own business or whatever it is you do. And that's fine. But when you're looking for a job, you're going to have to conform. And that's just part of the process. Location. Some people like going to work because it's close by. It's not far for them. So they can get to work easily without any issues. Some people go to work because they like to make a difference. This is huge for me. This one is huge for me because at the end of the day, if I didn't make a difference in someone's life, I don't feel I achieved much during the day. So it's not just money for me. It's really making that difference, having a huge impact on someone's life. Some people like going to work because it's a positive and welcoming environment. See, where I work right now, extremely positive, welcoming, inviting, great culture, great environment. I can't complain. This is actually the best company I've ever worked for. They literally care about their people. And you can't say that about a lot of places. So if you can find a company that creates that positive and welcoming environment, man, you that's like hitting mega millions. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then you have stability. Some companies provide you with stability. Now, you're not guaranteed a job, right? There is no security. That doesn't exist anymore. But you can't have stability, meaning you can go to work and understand you're probably going to have a job for a long time because the company is stable and they're not taking chances and risk that can impact everybody else. Then some people go to work because they like to learn something new. I love that part. Making a difference and learning something new is really important to me. Really important to me. Not the money. Okay? I switched jobs. I took a $20,000 pay cut. I'm fine. I'm fine. It sounds crazy, right? That's a whole nother video. But I'm fine. Then you have leadership. Some people actually go to work because they have so much respect for the leadership and the management of the company. And I know that might not be something you've experienced yet, but trust me, people do go to work for that. You ever notice, and I'll just kind of give you an example. You ever notice when people take new jobs, they tend to bring their people in? So when leaders get different jobs, they want their own team. They want the people that they trust. And the people that follow that leader have respect for them. They understand what they're going to be working with, who they're going to be working with. They just understand. A lot of people follow leaders. Okay, so if you can get an environment with a great leader, great management, oh my goodness, man, you probably be smiling every day going to work. And it's not about the money, okay? Because then they're going to give you the opportunity to grow. You're going to be in that welcoming environment that edifies you and builds you up. And that's where I work. I'm not going to name where I work, but trust me, great company. And I highly recommend you, remember, get focused, know your direction. What's your why? Please know your why. I cannot stress that enough. Why are you looking for work? Why are you switching jobs? Why? What's your reason? Because it has to be something that will sustain you through all of the obstacles that will arise.